Well, hello there, my fellow road warriors and desk jockeys dreaming of the open highway. Welcome to week 35 of Six Figure Trucking with your old pal, the midlife trucker, Tom Bell. That's right, the guy who traded a corner office and a hybrid car for a 53-foot trailer and a questionable truck stop burrito. Buckle up, because this week we're diving into the hot topic of truck driver pay and whether it's keeping up with inflation, or if we're all just out here hauling forklifts for pennies like it's 1985. Spoiler alert, I made $2,074 this week, so stick around to see how that stacks up. And don't worry, I've got bookmarks in this video so you can skip to the juicy bits, logs, pay, or my world-famous final thoughts. You're welcome. Now let's get real for a second. You've seen those YouTube videos, right? The ones where some guy in a flannel shirt with a beard longer than a CVS receipt moans about how truck drivers used to make bank in the 80s, back when shoulder pads were big and trucking paid like you were smuggling gold. Oh, the good old days, they cry while adjusting their trucker hat from 1992. Look, I get it. Nostalgia's a hell of a drug. But here's the deal. Every industry's singing that same sad song. Nurses are out here saving lives for what feels like loose change and a pat on the back. Teachers? They're buying classroom supplies with their own money while shaping the minds of future TikTok influencers. Auto workers, plumbers, electricians, even the barista who spells your name wrong on your $7 latte. They're all saying their paychecks aren't keeping up with inflation. This ain't a trucking problem, folks. It's a red, white, and blue, God bless the USA problem. But let's not get it twisted. There's still good money to be made out here on the blacktop. You just got to work smarter, not harder. See, a lot of new drivers think that CDL in their wallet is like a golden Wonka ticket to a six-figure chocolate factory. Wrong. That CDL's more like a fishing license. You still got to cast the line, reel in the right carrier, and not get hooked by some bottom feeder company promising great miles but paying you in IOUs and truck stop shower tokens. Good carriers like my folks at Cheeseman, they ain't out here begging for drivers. You got to do your homework, network like you're running for mayor, and find them. Trust me, I learned this the hard way. Back when I was a suit, I thought networking meant schmoozing at a golf course. Now, it's a subscriber on my channel saying, "Hey Tom, check out Cheeseman. Best advice I ever got." Fun fact, the Bureau of Labor Statistics says truck drivers' median pay in 2024 was about $54,000 a year. Sounds okay, right? But inflation's been out here acting like it's auditioning for a villain role in a Marvel movie. Since 1980, consumer prices have gone up over 250%, while wages across all industries have barely doubled. Trucking's no different. Back in the 80s, a driver might have pulled $30,000 a year, which is like $90,000 today after inflation. But here's the kicker. Top drivers at solid carriers can still clear six figures if you play your cards right. Pick the right company. Haul the right freight, like my forklifts and batteries. And suddenly you're not just keeping up with inflation, you're passing it in the left lane with your cruise control on. Now I know what you're thinking. Tom, you silver-tongued devil, how do I find these magical unicorn carriers? Easy, research and networking, scour social media for driver reviews, hit up forums, or reach out to me directly. I'm not just here to flex my $2,074 paycheck, though yeah, it feels pretty good. I'm here to help you dodge the traps and find the gigs that pay. Stick around for the rest of the video where I break down my logs, my home time, and how my hours compare to those poor souls stuck in cubicles. And don't skip my final thoughts at the end. It's like Dr. Phil meets a truck stop philosopher, but with better stories and fewer mustaches. Let's roll into the week, shall we? First, we'll talk about my logs for the week. I was paid for 2,783 dispatched miles. I had 3,241 logged miles. The day in green, I was on home time. Let's look at my unedited pay statement for period 35 of 2025. This includes all trips from August 17th to August 23rd. Empty miles paid $101. Securement paid $60. A 34-hour reset paid $100. Loaded miles paid $1,646 and stops paid $168. Total earnings for this week was $2,074. 35 weeks into the year, my gross income is $78,635, and my total miles is 99,945. That averages out to $2,247 per week and 2,856 miles. Estimated out over 52 weeks, my estimated annual is $116,830. Year-to-date numbers as of week 35 of 2025. I've been paid for 99,945 miles, covering 32 states, making 238 stops. 94% of those miles have been loaded, averaging 78.7 cents per mile. Here's the home time that I've taken this payroll year through the end of the 35th week. I have been on home time 19 times so far, totaling 52.6 days. I also have 5 overnight breaks at the house and 17 paid 34-hour resets on the road. I am not paid hourly, but let's calculate like an hourly job. For the week, my gross pay was $2,074 for 67 hours of work. If we break it down into a typical hourly job, it could be 40 regular hours and 27 hours of overtime, resulting in an effective pay rate of $25.74 per hour. For the year, my gross pay so far is $78,635 for 2,030 hours of work. If we break it down into a typical hourly job, it could be 1,369 regular hours and 661 hours of overtime, resulting in an effective pay rate of $33.32 per hour. Taking a look at the if-only truck drivers were paid for every hour in the truck calculation page. 35 weeks have gone by so far. That totals 5,880 hours. I have been at home 1,263 of those hours. That works out to 4,617 hours from the pre-trip leaving home to the post-trip returning home. My compensation through week 35 is $78,635. That works out to $1,703 per hour away from home. Well, folks, we've hauled another load through week 35, and what a ride it's been. We talked about inflation, paychecks, and how trucking's not the only gig feeling the pinch. Nurses, teachers, auto workers, they're all out here fighting the same fight against a dollar that buys less every year. But here's the thing. Out on this road, you've got something they don't. Freedom, opportunity. The chance to chase a paycheck that doesn't just keep up, but puts you ahead. That $2,074 in my pocket this week, that's not luck. That's choosing the right carrier, putting in the miles, and knowing when to say no to a bad deal. Life's too short to be miserable at work, whether you're in a truck, a classroom, or a hospital. So do your research, network like your life depends on it, and find the gig that makes you excited to wake up. If you're curious about Cheeseman or just want to talk shop, my contact info's on the screen and in the description. As the kids say today, hit me up. I'm not too proud to answer from a travel center parking lot. Like, subscribe, and follow along for more of this midlife trucker madness. And as always, make sure that you are enjoying every day at work.